Gemini can read your mind. They have a special gift that allows them to understand people's thoughts and feelings. It's like they have a sixth sense that helps them connect with others on a deeper level. Geminis are naturally curious and love to learn, which makes them incredibly intuitive. They can pick up on subtle cues like body language and tone of voice to figure out what's going on inside your head. Sometimes it can feel like Geminis have a superpower. They can sense when you're upset or stressed, even if you're trying to hide it. And they'll often know exactly what to say to make you feel better. But Geminis aren't just mind readers. They're also excellent communicators. They know how to listen actively and respond in a way that's both empathetic and insightful. Geminis are also known for their quick wit and clever ideas. They're always thinking on their feet and coming up with creative solutions to problems. And because they're so attuned to the people around them, they can often anticipate what others will say or do. It's like they have a built-in radar system that helps them navigate social situations with ease. Of course, having a Gemini around can also be a little intimidating. They're so smart and perceptive that it's like they can see right through you. But don't worry, Geminis are ultimately kind and well-meaning. They just want to understand and connect with others. And they're willing to use their incredible intuition to make that happen. So, if you're lucky enough to have a Gemini in your life, be grateful for their unique gift. And don't be surprised if they seem to read your mind. It's just what Geminis do. If you agree with me, hit the plus sign under my photo and drop your birthday in comments to find your twin.
When you meet in Gemini, you think they're quiet. When you talk to them, you wish they were quiet. When you know them, you'll be scared when they're quiet. Gemini still has a smile on their face, even when they're sad. Gemini mouths get real disrespectful when they get mad. That's why they don't like to argue. Gemini are the realest ones who deal in facts. Single Gemini are casually flirty or oblivious to flirting. Gemini don't like compromising, but they'll do it for the right person. Gemini prefer their relationships to be more private than public. Gemini will forever be the outcast, the lone wolf, the black sheep, and they're okay with that. If you piss off in Gemini, they can ignore you so hard that you'll question your own existence. Gemini have a very individualistic spirit and need time to themselves to recharge. When a Gemini tells you how they feel, they mean it. It takes a lot for them to open up to someone. Gemini will get mad at you and block you. Gemini have their masters in reverse psychology. Gemini tend to be stubborn, yet they are extremely genuine. Gemini can look you dead in the face while you're talking and not hear a word you said. Gemini tend to have very thick skin, so nothing can really break them emotionally unless it's coming from someone they really care about. Gemini loves weird and quirky people. And those with big hearts, Gemini are quiet thinkers. You'd be surprised at how many different things they think about on a daily basis.
When Gemini gets angry. When Gemini gets angry, they start talking very loudly and will keep talking about the issue that bothers them, no matter what happens, until everyone clearly understands the problem. Gemini really needs to win debates. Rude and tactless people annoy Gemini a lot. They hate when others question their personality and try to manipulate them. However, Gemini cannot stay angry for long because they also do not want to make others feel bad. When angry, Gemini is full of emotions and it is very difficult for them to restrain themselves. If something bothers them, do not expect them to keep their thoughts to themselves for long. Instead, they will express their feelings very quickly and strongly. Gemini hates losing an argument and is easily provoked because their alter ego loves the idea of revenge. Gemini also does not really like negative and pessimistic people. Often they will try to prove everything is possible in life based on concrete facts, especially if they have thoroughly studied the subject. When angry, Gemini can destroy others simply with their words, capable of leaving you speechless with one phrase and with an irrefutable logic, and all without even having to yell. Think about sharing this video with all the Gemini you know.
Gemini people can make your life hell. If you're a Gemini or know someone who is, listen up closely. Gemini is, without a doubt, one of the most loyal signs in the zodiac. They're down to earth and always available for the people they love. They prioritize the happiness of others, often putting their loved ones first, and will go to great lengths to make them happy. In relationships, Gemini are the true givers. They offer everything, even if they don't get much in return. They keep their promises, staying extremely loyal and sincere. But here's the twist. Gemini people can be incredibly stubborn. Once they've made up their mind about something, they dig their heels in and refuse to budge. Yet, this stubbornness often melts away. When their partner admits their faults, Gemini doesn't act difficult unless they sense betrayal. And trust me, their instincts are razor sharp. They can smell betrayal long before it happens. Gemini are also known for being possessing, whether it's in relationships or friendships. This possessiveness isn't about control. It stems from their deep need for security and stability. They crave comfort and often lead their partners into a luxurious flow of life. While they might seem materialistic, their true desire is to share those comforts with the people they love. If you're a Gemini, in listening to this, drop your birthday in the comments and find your twin.
Gemini are very peculiar. You might think a Gemini is shy, but in fact, they observe and analyze you. No sign can be as emotionally cold as a Gemini. If you have nothing to offer, a Gemini won't waste a second of their time. They quickly lose interest in someone they find useless. Geminis notice everything about everything: your walk, how you talk, your unconscious habits. All Geminis often stay silent because they know their words can cut like a knife. A Gemini doesn't get angry. They simply beat you at your own game. They're good at making people look foolish. Geminis are too smart to fall for anything. They are one of the smartest signs of the zodiac. Unlike some people, they look at the facts and are interested in many things. Gemini is very curious. With them, you'll learn new things every day. If you're in a relationship with a Gemini, prepare never to be bored. Geminis are more perseverant than most people. They can handle setbacks and failures better than you. Geminis are attracted to things of natural beauty and pure hearts. What pleases them most is a kind person with whom they can have deep discussions. If you agree with me, hit the plus sign under my photo and drop your birthday in comments to find your twin.
The silent revenge of Gemini. They don't yell. They don't break things. Gemini's revenge is silent. So silent, you'll only hear it in your sleepless nights. At first glance, Gemini seems soft, gentle, almost too forgiving. But that's the mask they wear to protect their real strength. Beneath their nurturing exterior lies an ocean of emotions, calm on the surface, yet capable of storms when pushed too far. When you hurt Gemini, they don't react immediately. They withdraw, slowly, quietly, like the tide receding before a devastating wave. It's not about screaming matches or wild confrontations. No, Gemini revenge is far more personal. It's about making you feel their absence in ways you didn't know were possible. You see, Gemini love deeply. They know you inside out because they cared for you, listened to you, and made your world warmer. So when you betray their trust, they don't need to destroy you. They let you destroy yourself. First, they'll pull back their love, the care you once took for granted, the good morning texts, the check-ins when you were down, the way they understood you without you even speaking. Gone. Suddenly your world feels colder, emptier. You'll crave their comfort only to realize you've been locked out. Gemini doesn't play games. They teach lessons, show you what it's like to lose someone who made life feel soft and safe, and they'll do it all in silence. You won't see their revenge. You'll feel it in the quiet moments, when the loneliness creeps in, when you realize how much they gave and how little you valued it. And here's the thing about Gemini. They don't need to see you suffer. Their closure doesn't come from watching you fall apart. It comes from moving on, stronger and wiser, from knowing they were the best thing you had, and you let it slip through your hands. So, if you think Gemini's silence is weak, think again, because their revenge isn't about breaking you, it's about letting you break yourself. And in the end, the silence they leave behind, it'll echo louder than words ever could. Gemini doesn't seek revenge, they become it. Quietly, powerfully, completely. Type yes if you agree, and drop your birthday to find your twins.
When you meet a Gemini, you think they're quiet, but give it time and you'll see they're anything but. At first, a Gemini might seem shy or reserved, like they're just taking it all in. That's because they are. Geminis love to observe and figure out the vibe before jumping in. Once they're comfortable though, you'll wish they stayed quiet. Geminis are natural talkers, and their curiosity makes them ask a million questions or share random facts. It's like their minds never stop moving. When you really know a Gemini, you realize there's more going on than you thought. They're thinkers, always processing, always analyzing. And when they're quiet, it's not because they're bored,
it's because they're deep in thought. But don't get on their bad side. If a Gemini is quiet because they're mad, that's when you should worry. They can cut you off without a second thought if you cross the line. Geminis are unique. They're the life of the party 1 minute and the quiet observer the next. They'll make you laugh, challenge your ideas, and keep you guessing. Are you a Gemini? Drop your birthday in the comments and let's find your twin.
Gemini may play dumb sometimes, but they always know what's going on. Don't underestimate a Gemini. They'll rise above at the least expected moment. It takes a special type of person to bring out the freaky side of Gemini. They are very discreet people. Even just a small sense of doubt will have Gemini up all night overthinking. Gemini doesn't want to be everyone's friend. They're picky and only choose those worthy of their time. Gemini notices everything about a person. How they walk, how they talk, their unconscious habits, everything. Geminis are very tolerant. You can do a lot of bad things and they'll forgive you except betrayal. Loyalty is everything to them. Geminis have 3 personalities. The first comes from their soul, the second comes from their alter ego, and the third comes from their intelligence. A Gemini has the ability to sense what is off-key about a person or situation before anyone else has a chance to comment. Geminis have difficulty explaining exactly how they feel. If they do, they give the shortest version possible. If a Gemini is hard to get along with, they probably just don't want to get along with you. Geminis have very deep minds, and it's very hard to get inside of them. If you do, you won't understand anyways. A Gemini will stop communication when they feel unappreciated. Gemini is too smart to fall for any of your bullshit. Unlike some people, they actually look at the facts. Geminis are natural-born detectives. Their intuition is powerful. Gemini is basically a hopeless romantic with an intelligent and dirty mind and high standards.
Gemini hate disrespect. Geminis are known for their charm and quick wit, but the moment they feel disrespected, it's over. They might let it slide once, but don't mistake their patience for weakness. A Gemini will either clap back instantly or silently cut you off forever, no in between. They value respect, intelligence, and good vibes. Anything less, and you're out. Take a Gemini who doesn't tolerate disrespect.
You think leaving a Gemini is easy? You think you'll move on? Cute. Because the second you're gone, that's when they become unforgettable. You don't leave a Gemini and just move on. You leave a Gemini and spend the rest of your life wondering why no one else makes you feel the way they did. At first, you feel free. You tell yourself it was the right decision. Maybe you thought they were too much, too unpredictable, too wild, too hard to keep up with. Maybe you thought you needed peace instead of chaos. But what you don't realize is that a Gemini wasn't just chaos. They were your spark, your adrenaline, the fire in your veins that kept life exciting. And when that's gone, life feels empty. And that's when it starts. The late night scrolling through old messages, the way your mind replays their voice, their laughter, their perfectly timed comebacks. You catch yourself looking for them in crowded rooms, hoping, just hoping, you might run into them again. And worst of all, every time you meet someone new, you compare them to that Gemini. Their wit isn't as sharp, their energy isn't as electric, their presence isn't as addicting. Because a Gemini doesn't just leave your life, they haunt it. They become a permanent mark in your memory, a standard no one else can reach. You thought they were too much? Try living without them. Try waking up without their spontaneous texts, without their unpredictable, intoxicating energy pulling you into something new. Try sitting in silence after you've been with someone who made life feel like a movie. That's the real heartbreak. And by the time you realize it, it's already too late. That Gemini, they've moved on. They're laughing with someone new, dancing through life like they never even knew your name. Not because they didn't care, but because Geminis don't chase the past. They live forward. And you're just another chapter they've already finished reading. Moral of the story: if you lose a Gemini, you don't move on. You just learn to live with the fact that you let the best thing that ever happened to you slip away. Be honest. Have you ever regretted losing a Gemini? Drop your confession in the comments. Follow for more brutally honest zodiac truths. Gemini represents karma in the zodiac. This means anything you do, them will eventually come back to you. Don't show off to a Gemini. They're not materialistic and they don't care. Type, Geminis are cool because, and let your phone finish the sentence for you. It's all fun and games. Until a Gemini is unreachable, unavailable, and uninterested. A Gemini likes to pretend they're emotionless, but they have at least 200 mood swings a day. Gemini don't like to waste time hating people. They just cut you off and continue with life. Geminis like a lot, but rarely love. Once they do love, you'll never see another love like it. Being a Gemini's friend is accepting. Sometimes they reply in 1 second and sometimes in 30 days. A Gemini will know if they like someone. Within the first few seconds of meeting them, they are able to read energy very well. A Gemini might be the saddest, happiest person and the meanest, nicest person to ever exist.